From Center City, this is Good Day Philadelphia.
These hard economic times, and of course it all has to do with Philadelphia's homicide rate. It has dropped.
The city actually saw a 15% drop in murders as 2008 came to a close. Of course, this is a trend that hopefully will continue into 2009. Joining us now to talk about the efforts to curb the violence is Mothers in Charge co-founder Dorothy Johnson-Speight. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to both of you.
We were saying, during the commercial break, every time she comes, we've either been looking back at a homicide or talking about there for a while. It was like the OK Corral around here. Yeah. So what's your reaction to the fact that homicides were down 15%?
That's great. That's wonderful. That's good news. We're hopeful that it will continue, as you stated. We just want to encourage everyone to continue to do the work that they're doing in the communities. I think that's really what's making the difference, as well as the work of the Philadelphia Police Department, but many community organizations like Mothers in Charge and faith-based organizations that are on the front lines now, because everyone's sick and tired of this. Yeah. Everyone's fed up with the number that we see each year. So I think it's the work of so many of us that are doing so many different kinds of interventions that's really making a difference.
Big part of this is you have to change attitudes. So you're out there and you talk to a lot of young people. What are they telling you?
Absolutely. I think that is the key. We can't arrest our way out of the problem. We do have to change the mindset of many young people. And violence has becomes almost the thing to do in terms of violence. We have to change that mindset, let them know that life is valuable and things like that.
Since you guys have been kind of pounding the pavement going into schools, and you kind of have a vantage point that I think a lot of our viewers perhaps don't see day in and day out when you're talking to some of the kids and some of these folks that are on the streets. Is there something that maybe you could share with everybody else that maybe we don't know about the mindset of some of them or some of the young people, or just maybe something we haven't heard as far as what's going on out there, or solutions or anything?
Well, I mean, we're doing a lot of work. We're doing the work in the prisons with juveniles who have oftentimes committed very serious crimes. So we have had an opportunity to interview a lot of them through our new documentary that we've done. We're working with young people for the last 4 years on Saturdays with the SMART program, which is a part of the school district program, the way you handle conflict or disagreements. Oftentimes the media and the games and the things that the music that they're listening to kind of suggest that that's the way you do it. But I think it's very important that we let our young people know, and parents and everyone, send a message to young people that violence is not the answer, and there are other ways that you can deal with conflict and disagreements and things like that.
Let's talk about this documentary, Stopping the Violence. And this was quite a project for you.
Yes.
And what's the hope with this and getting this out into the community?
Well, it's called Mothers in Charge, Stop the Violence, a message to the youth. So we wanted to really reach young people with the message that going to jail is not a rites of passage or a thing you want to do. And we've had the opportunity to interview some juveniles in the House of Correction in Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center, an adult facility, and a lot of them are there for very serious crimes. They've had an opportunity to share what it's like to be incarcerated at the age of 15, 16, and 17 years old.
If another child sees that and what kind of life they have, hopefully it'll keep them out of that.
It's not glorious at all.
So finally, now what? Any plans for 2009, or just keep pounding away, talking to young people and different programs?
We're going to continue to do what we do, really wanting to reach young people and parents. I think oftentimes parents hear our stories and they say they don't want to be in our shoes. They don't want to lose their young person to violence. So even communicating to parents the urgency of connecting and finding resources and supports for their young people is key.
Well, we know you lost your son years ago, and so I know you're using your pain and kind of channeling it in a positive way. So I think it's working.
Yes, it is.
Dorothy Johnson-Speight, thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.